What's up, guys? It's Russo, and week 6 is not over yet. Today's Monday, October 13th, and we have 2 killer games on the slate for Monday Night Football. They're about an hour apart from each other, so we're going to get to catch the first half, or not quite the first half. Yeah, maybe about the first half of game 1, and then you'll have to bounce back and forth for game 2. But we're going to want to be locked into both of these games because there's a lot of fantasy value to be had. So I'm probably going to put out 4 picks on this channel and 4 regular picks over on my Russo Fantasy Sports channel. And I'll attach it at the end of this video once I get that other video done, and I'll put it in the description if you guys want to go check that out for some extra plays. So yeah, let's talk about Sunday. This one, we hit 50% of the plays. Should have been better than that, but some of these were just misses. So no excuses, but let's start with the good. Rico Dowdle crushed his fantasy score. We took him over 15.5. He went for 33.9 fantasy points on Prizepicks. The dude has over 200 yards from scrimmage in back-to-back games now. 2 soft matchups, but still, the dude is playing out of his mind right now. AJ Barner, we took him over 6.5 fantasy score. He ended up cashing for us, went for 10.1. Jordan Love, we took him over 8.5 rushing yards. He ended up cashing that real quick, and he ended with 26. And now the bad. Stephon Diggs, we took him over 61.5 receiving yards. This should have cashed. That 51-yard penalty that they called offensive pass interference, that was a bogus call. Maybe I'm being a little biased because I wanted that to cash, and that would have definitely put us over. But you guys tell me, did you think that was like pass interference? I didn't think it was. He ended with 28. That would have absolutely crushed the line if that play wouldn't have been called back. Ryan Flournoy, George Pickens was not stopped, and he was fed, and he had a massive game. So I thought that there would be a little bit more attention on the studs. He had his opportunities. Flournoy did not catch everything that was thrown his way. He ended up ending the game with 30 receiving yards. It took him over 35.5. And then Tyquan Thornton, this one was a real bummer for me because it just looks like that third target for the Chiefs is just, I mean, obviously it's interchangeable, but I thought with Tyquan sort of trending, getting more looks, he had hit that, 4 out of 5 weeks on the season. He didn't get any looks last night, and the Lions had no answer for the Chiefs on offense or defense. So that was not the type of matchup I was expecting. I was expecting it to at least be a little closer, and I actually kind of liked the Lions going into that. But Tyquan Thornton, I got to pump the brakes. I hate to do it, but I even picked him up in my Dynasty League for fantasy, and he's just like a deep stash, And but we have Rashee Rice coming back, so probably going to be off Tyquan for a minute now and see how that all plays out. So yeah, if you guys want to join our Discord, all through the month of October, this special is going to be running. So use code FALL. You sign up through Patreon, use code FALL. 75% off your first month, and we got NBA starting, so it's a great time to join. Come join our community. We have some heavy hitters. Our boy Jay, he is actually an analyst for us now. Having a lot of fun. The dude is really good at just putting together slips and sharing it with the community, and dude plays a lot. He's heavy-handed. The dude is a sight to be seen, trust me. So yeah, if you want to come join us, sign up through Patreon, and then there's a link to the Discord server. If Patreon doesn't link you automatically, just come back to the video, click that link, and you're good to go. All right, let's talk about today's picks. So I'm going to be taking JCM, Bill Croskey, over 13 fantasy score, Jacory Croskey-Merritt, if you guys don't know the Bill Croskey reference. He likes to be called Bill, and the dude, Bill is great because the dude is a stud. We're going to take him over 13 fantasy score. Going to go Josh Allen, over 34.5 rushing yards. Cole Kmet, going to take him over 20.5 receiving yards. And then we're going to go Bijan Robinson over 35.5 first half rushing yards. I usually don't like taking partials. It's just not my style. But I'm going with it on this because you're getting a massive discount. His regular line is at 74.5 or something like that. So they tend to try to come out hot, and Bijan gets a lot of run in the first quarter. So this is cut more in more than just half. It's you're getting more than 50% off of his total yards by taking the first half. So I got to take it. So those are the 4 we're going to be rolling with. Going to break all that down. If you guys don't mind, do me a favor, like the video, hype it if you enjoy the show. It helps me out a lot. Drop me a comment. All that stuff just really helps me out a lot. I'm still just pushing to get my views back up. I took the summer off. I had a baby, been adjusting to life, and man, I mean, you guys are helping me out. You're liking the videos and whatnot, but the views are just not coming back yet. But we're going to keep going. If you guys haven't signed up for Underdog yet, use code BACKDOOR. You play your first $5, you get $100 in bonus funds. It's that simple. They bumped it up. It used to be $50. Now it's $100. They've got all sorts of specials that they're constantly running. So go check that out. And then if you want a free $20, use code BACKDOOR over at Chalkboard, and they're going to give you $20 to play with. You don't have to deposit up front. If you ever do deposit, they're going to kick back to me, and it helps me out, helps support what I'm doing. So I appreciate it. Just throw in that code, get your free $20. They've got tons of alt lines. They've got specials, like more specials than anybody every single day. It's not like Taco Tuesday or Flex Friday. It's every day is a special on Chalkboard. And a lot of them, you'll see like 12 to 18 specials a day. They got boosts and discounts and all sorts of stuff. So go check that out. $20 for free. Now let's start breaking down this slate. I drank a bunch of coffee. My wife got some of this pumpkin spice creamer. I'm usually a black coffee type of guy, but it's fall, and not trying to sound fruity here or anything, but once a year, start getting the pumpkin flavors going. I enjoy the festivities of it, and the stuff is delicious. So I drank a bunch of it this morning. But let's talk about these over-unders. I told you guys these games were bangers. So we got Bills-Falcons is the first game, 49.5 over-under. So they're expecting fireworks. Bills favored by just 3.5, playing in Atlanta, so we're indoors. And then we've got the next game, the Bears versus the Commanders, which should be another banger. 49.5 over-under as well. Commanders favored by 5.5, and we're playing in Washington. So I think they play outdoors in Washington, don't they? Let's take a look. We're going to check the weather, be responsible about it. Light rain, high 50s, mid 50s. Nothing. Well, actually, yeah, we do have a little bit of wind going on. So keep that in mind. Just something to consider. 24 mile an hour gusts. That's usually what I pay attention to as far as like the wind being, affecting the game, but it doesn't look like thunderstorm type weather. So what we really want to avoid is, delays in the game, because that's always a bummer because players lose momentum and it's just no fun. It messes up your slips a lot. So let's start breaking it down. Who do we got here first? All right. Bill Croskey. I better say just Jacory, Croskey-Merritt, so you guys don't get confused. But yeah, Bill Croskey. I was looking at his rushing receiving yards strictly for the matchup. So since it's on here, I'll break it down for you guys. If you take a look at Chicago defensively against running backs, 32nd in rushing yards allowed, averaging about 140. Any given running back is averaging about 140 yards. I mean, not total, but the running backs in general. Rushing yards, 2 running backs, 140 a game. And then receiving yards, 16th in the league against running backs, and they're averaging about 30.2. So, soft matchup, really soft matchup against rushing yards, and then middle of the road against receiving yards. But I'm just going to go ahead and take the fantasy score myself, because I think that he's going to probably maybe get in the end zone too. Let's just look at the matchup for touchdowns real quick. All right. So 29th in touchdowns allowed to running backs is Chicago, 1.5 a game. Now we got Chris Rodriguez, who really wasn't threatening the snaps of JCM, but he's questionable. Let's see. Dealing with a calf injury. He's questionable for the game. I don't think he's going to be a factor even if he plays. It'll just be for depth and emergencies. It'll be him and Jeremy McNichols, who is actually pretty decent, but this is the breakout game for JCM. Well, this isn't. He already broke out, but I'm just saying, like, this is his backfield now. Last week against the Chargers, he goes for 2 touchdowns, and they're ranked 3rd in touchdowns allowed to running backs. So this offense, Cliff Kingsbury is just one of the best play callers in the league. So we're going to go ahead and take the fantasy score because at 13, I mean, they've got him for a touchdown on Outlier. They've got him at a minus 137 to get in the end zone. So just give me the fantasy score. Last week when he went for 2, he had 28. So I'm just taking the 13 fantasy score and calling it good. But you guys let me know if you are going to play something different. Just let me know what you're leaning towards. I know a lot of people are on the rushing yards, and I'm good with that. Like the rushing yards, you want to take that, go for it. We'll talk about all of it. But if you look at the running backs over the last few weeks here, you've got Javonte Williams. He just barely missed his line. His line was set at 15. He ended with 13.2. But then you got the Lions. Both David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs beat their fantasy score. Montgomery went for 13.1 and Gibbs went for 19.4, same game. You got Jordan Mason beat went for 8.5. His line was set at 8. And then Aaron Jones back in the day, 15.7. His line was set at 11.5. So I feel good about JCM just getting all the love and you also have Deebo Samuel, who is questionable going into this game. So some rushing opportunities that Deebo gets here and there, and just the overall effectiveness of Deebo. I think that they're going to rely on JCM even more. I was looking at Luke McCaffrey. I'm going to be kind of monitoring the Deebo situation a little bit closer throughout the day. Might throw some Luke McCaffrey into some plays later on. I'll throw that in the Discord. But yeah, so let's take a look at the optimizer and see what they think about Jacory here. And this is the DFS optimizer from Daily Grind, if you guys aren't familiar. So yeah, they like the rushing yards the best. So if you guys want to take that and be a part of the crowd, everyone loves that. 68.5. They have it at a 52.49% odds to hit the over, -127. Pinnacle has it at 68.5. They have it at a -125. DraftKings up at 70.5, BetMGM 70.5. They have it at a 50-50 shot around there. And then rush attempts, they like him over 14.5. Rushing receiving yards over 82.5. They've got that at a 51.55% odds to hit the over. They like his longest rush. They like his receiving yards. They like his longest reception. They don't like the fantasy score. So this happens to me sometimes. It's just slightly. It's a 50.01% odds to hit the under. And it's just because it's a little bit more expensive on Prizepicks. But we talked about that odds to get in the end zone that Outlier has, -137. So that right there that cuts this down to 7. So gets a couple of catches. If he hits his yards, we're good as well. So go with your gut. I just like the fantasy score in a situation like this where I'm getting a little bit of everything all in one, and it's full point PPR on Prizepicks. So you have all these other options if you don't want to take the fantasy score. JCM's looking good tonight. That's the main point we're trying to make here. All right, let's move on. Josh Allen. I really like this one. If we take a look here, this is a note from Outlier. I'll show you guys. He's exceeded 34.5 rushing yards in 5 of his last 6 games on the road. So he's playing better on the road. He's averaging 49 as far as rushing goes. He's averaging 49.7 rushing yards a game, 83% hit rate over his last 6 games. And then we've got a 2025 season. He's done it 3 out of 5 games in total. And then if you look at Atlanta, they're 16th in rushing yards allowed. So Atlanta's defense is actually pretty solid. So keep that in mind. But yeah, 16th in rushing yards allowed. If we go to the quarterback position, they're 20th. So a little bit softer on quarterbacks. And in this situation, with Dalton Kincaid a little bit questionable, with the pressure that Atlanta can put on quarterbacks, which is middle of the road, but still not like terrible. I think that he'll be in a situation where he is extending plays. 34.5 sounds great to me. I would take this even higher than that, just a little bit. But yeah, his last outing against New England, who was ranked 4th in rushing yards allowed to quarterbacks, he put up 53. And then you've got New Orleans, softer matchup, 18th. He put up 45, and then back here against the Jets, 23rd, much softer matchup. He put up 59. But even these misses, he went for 30 and he went for 25. So that was against Miami, 31-21. That was that game that was actually more competitive than we expected. That was a fun game, but Miami kind of lost that for themselves, and then now Miami's just they're just collapsing entirely. And then to open up the season, 41-40 against Baltimore, and that's the closest Baltimore has been to doing anything significant this season. But let's take a look at past quarterbacks real quick. So Mariota didn't do much. Bryce Young didn't do much. Not that we would expect either of those guys to. You have JJ McCarthy beat his line. Baker Mayfield beat his line. Baker went for 39. His line was set at 13.5. And JJ McCarthy, his line was set at 17.5. He went for 25. So both Baker and JJ, who actually are somewhat mobile. JJ is supposed to be mobile, but he's kind of just injured all the time. Baker is deceiving because he's more athletic than people realize, but he's not like the fastest dude. But yeah, he ended up almost tripling. Well, about tripling. Yeah, just about tripling his line. Now we got Josh Allen. I think this was really popping off the page for me. Let's take a look and see what Daily Grind thinks on the optimizer. They love his passing touchdowns, over 1.5. So I think that sounds great too. Just keep in mind, if you take any fantasy scores or receivers, I don't know if the passing touchdowns affects just like a receiving yards as much, but just keep in mind that the correlation, you do get penalized and your multiplier will get a little bit jacked up, but they have a 54.05% odds to hit the over. Pinnacle has it at a -128. Everyone's favoring this one to go over, so this one is looking good for the passing TDs. They like the pass attempts over as well. Rush attempts, they like under 7, so they're probably not going to like the rushing yards. Well, they do like the rushing yards. 50.25% odds to hit the over -116. They like his passing yards over as well. All right, who do we got next? All right, Cole Kmet. Now this one I had to think about for a minute, but I'm going to go with it. We have Colston Loveland coming back potentially tonight, but he got in a full practice all week from what I understand. He's the rookie they drafted, but Cole Kmet is solid as well. And the reason I like his receiving yards is because his average yards per reception, he's not going to need a whole lot to clear this. He's cleared it 3 out of 4 games in 2025 so far. His most recent against Las Vegas ranked 18th in receiving yards allowed to tight ends. He went for 46. In this matchup against Washington, overall, they're 24th in receiving yards allowed to anybody. We go to the tight end position, they're 25th. So 65.4 yards are what they've been allowing through the 2025 season to tight ends specifically. And then let's take a look here. So the reason I like this, if you look at his receptions over these games, a lot of these, he's like, you've got this game against Minnesota. He had 4 targets, only 1 reception, and he went for 31 yards. Then you got 2 receptions for 29 yards. You've got this game against Dallas, 1 reception, 10 yards. He missed it. But then even here, he had a ton of targets against Vegas, 9 targets, pulls down 3 receptions, goes for 46. So his average over the season is 17.7. So 2 receptions, if he's hitting his average, should get us there. His longest reception, he's got several games with receptions of at least 22 yards. Most recently against Vegas, he had a 29-yarder. So my whole thought here is he doesn't need to do much. And I do think Colston Loveland, if he plays, that's going to cut into it a little bit. But yeah, I don't think that this line is set so outrageously that we need to pay too much attention to that. If we look at past matchups, Kyle Pitts went for 70 yards. Brock Bowers went for 38. I'm not sure, that may have been around when he kind of dealt with some injury. But then you got Luke Musgrave for Green Bay going for 32, and Tucker Kraft went for 124. So 2 tight ends absolutely eating in this matchup here. So I'm liking it at 20.5. I'm feeling good about it. Let me make sure that's the line that we got it at. Actually, we're about to go to Daily Grind anyways. They're going to tell us what this is. $20.5. Yeah, they don't like it. So go with your gut. They like him over. Well, no, they don't. They have it a 50-50 shot for 3 targets. I mean, he just had 9. I know that was against the Raiders, and that game was probably a close game, 25-24. So yeah, I mean, like 20.5 yards. I'm feeling good about this one. You guys don't have to take it though if you don't want it. Longest reception, they don't like him. They got the under for the 12.5, 51.64% odds to hit the under -126. They don't like the receiving yards, 51.49% odds to hit the over -125. So go with your gut. It looks like they don't really like anything for Cole Kmet. So maybe it's just me, but I think that if we take a look here, I'll show you guys something else. This is the stuff I love about Outlier. So we're going to go, you just hit this little tab down. We're going to go games with, we'll go down here to Colston Loveland, who's currently questionable, but even when he is playing, he's got 3 games here where 3 games that he played with him, and he cleared it in 2 of those. So yeah, against Minnesota, he went for 31 yards with Colston Loveland, and then he went for 29 yards against Detroit. Now that was a blowout, so maybe he got more love at the end there. But if we look at the receptions, once again, that was that game. Just 1 reception, he cashed it, and then 2 receptions, he cashed it. So this doesn't scare me off. 20.5 is very low with this kind of matchup, 25th in receiving yards allowed. So I think that, yeah, we're not going to get 100% of Colston Loveland. Even if he's fully healthy, we'll see a little bit of Cole Kmet, and that's all we really need to cash this, in my opinion. All right, let's wrap it up here with Bijan. All right, so yeah, if we take a look here, the last 5 games, 4 of those, actually, let's just go to 2025. So he only has the 1 game against Tampa Bay, really tough matchup, 5th in, defense against rushing yards. He had 6 in the first half. And then they started scheming where Bijan comes out high. I feel like the first 10 plays are kind of centered around Bijan typically, and they just like run with it. So yeah, against Minnesota, he had 72 yards in the first half. Carolina, ranked 9th. Their defense is actually pretty stout as well. He goes for 40 yards. And then against Washington, he went for 54 yards in the first half. Now, overall, Buffalo is 30th in rushing yards allowed, averaging 145.6 a game through 2025. If we go specifically to running backs, 23rd. So the running back position totals about 98.8 on average. Now, let's look at this note here from Outlier. Look at all that green. This is his first half over, let's see. He's exceeded 35.5 first half rushing yards in 9 of his last 10 games. He averages 54.1 in the first half over his last 10 games. So we got a 90% hit rate here. It's looking good. And if you guys, I also have Bijan in Dynasty, so I'm always like, the games start off hot for him. So if it makes you nervous and you're still on the rushing yards, just take the full game. Let's see, do we have any examples here? Okay, so yeah, so a lot of these backfields are by committee that they've played more recently. So you got the Patriots, Ramondre Stevenson, -2. And I think that there was probably a fumble in that game, and maybe he got benched for a little bit, for a quarter or 2. Travion Henderson beat his line 19. He went for 19. His line was set at 10.5. Antonio Gibson in that same game beat his line. And then you got Alvin Kamara and Kendre Miller both beat their lines. So in the first half, the Saints put up, 75 rushing yards between Kamara and Kendre Miller. And then you got Devon Achane. His line was set at 28.5. He went for 35. And that's actually kind of significant because he's a great overall player, but he is really heavily utilized in the passing game. And so for him to hit his rushing yards in the first continues to speak to this narrative here. Breece Hall did not hit his, but the Jets suck. So, but then Derrick Henry went for 123 in the first half. That's crazy. Pretty wild. My gosh. So yeah, this looks great to me. And then the overall rushing yards are set at, what'd they open at? I mean, they still look good, but 74.5. So we're getting 40 yards off, and we know that he's a little bit heavier in the first half anyways. So I think they both look good, but if you do take a look at more recently, that full yards has been a little bit, just barely been hitting it. We know that he's a great pass catcher as well, but it was really only that game against Minnesota where he really went off. And then, yeah, so give me the first half for Bijan. I feel really good about that. And so I don't think the optimizer is going to show us first half, but I'll show you guys some other options. So they don't like the 20 fantasy score, and that does seem a little high to me too. He could totally crush it. He crushed it his last game, but it is a little bit high, and it's much higher than what everyone else has it set at. No one's coming close to 20. No one's even at 19 as far as other odds makers go. And then, so it's super inflated over here on Prizepicks. It is full point PPR, so keep that in mind. But They don't like the overall rushing yards at 74.5. They think that's a little steep, kind of too close to what he's been doing on the regulars. So, but keep in mind, he's coming off a bye week. He should be. Sometimes the bye weeks really help, because you got all this energy. You get a some time off. But then also, we've seen guys that kind of get a little bit sluggish because they're not in rhythm anymore. So, I think that they're going to open up the script with Bijan personally. They like his longest reception over 13.5, 51.09% odds to hit the over. They like him over 4 receptions, just barely 50.85% odds to hit the over, minus 120. Longest rush, they like him over 15.5. Yeah, I think that sounds good too. 50.51% odds to hit the over. They're not feeling the receiving yards at 32.5. We have a lot of 31.5s across other platforms. So the optimizer's just not liking that you're paying a premium to take it on Prizepicks. So it's just telling you maybe you want to take the under. And then they've got his 5.5 targets at 50%. So if you guys want the optimizer for yourself, use code BACKDOOR and they're going to give you 25% off for as long as you want. So basketball's about to start. If you get it now for your first month, you'll have it for basketball too. It's great for basketball. It's great for NFL too, but you can lock it in through the whole NFL season, the whole NBA season if you want. Just use code BACKDOOR. They'll give you that 25% off of whatever plan you choose. And then they also have some other pretty cool tools. That they have the optimizers, what I use most often. They have a middling tool. They have a fantasy scores tool. They also have an AI slip generator that just makes slips for you across different platforms and different sports. It just looks for the greenest of the green, puts them all together, and then you just click a button and it like loads it onto your account for you. It's pretty sweet. So yeah, check that out. Let's get into some bonus plays and then we'll wrap this up. So right now on the optimizer, you see this says 4 selected. I selected all the teams playing tonight, so this is just for tonight. So yeah, at the top of the board is that Bijan fantasy score. They like it under 20. There's those Josh Allen passing TDs. They like that. They don't like Josh Allen for a rushing receiving touchdown. I think the matchup is actually pretty tough. Let's just take a look here. Touchdowns. 2 quarterbacks. Yeah, 10th in touchdowns allowed to quarterbacks. They average 0.2. They also, let's see who they played, because Josh Allen is someone different. Yeah. So Bryce Young got one on him, but Marcus Mariota, I mean, that's kind of like, that kind of makes sense because, that kind of speaks a little bit of volume because Mariota is someone who could run the ball in. JJ McCarthy, and then Baker, neither of those guys got in, but Josh Allen, I'm not taking his under personally on a rushing receiving touchdown. Let's see. Michael Penix. You didn't hear anything. I said Penix. They like him for 2.5 rush attempts. 53.87% odds to hit the over. Minus 135. James Cook. Over or under 16 fantasy score. Yeah, I'm kind of like, that last outing was just so bad. I don't think, I'm not like totally scared off, but it is inflated on Prizepicks. Maybe he bounces back tonight. But they've got it at a 53.86% odds to hit the over. That's going to make me laugh for the rest of the video, guys. I'm sorry. Caleb Williams, they like him over 5.5 rush attempts. 53.41% odds to hit the over. Minus 130. That one does, yeah. I mean, that does seem kind of low. There's a lot of juice on FanDuel, minus 148. BetMGM minus 130. So yeah, that one does look pretty solid. Let's see what else we got. Debo over 5.5 receptions. If he plays, yeah, I'm just a little nervous because he's been questionable. So you got to monitor that close before you lock in. Obviously, it'll just downgrade your slip if he doesn't play. But I think worst case scenario is he does play on just a little bit of work. 52.96% odds to hit the over. Then you got Roma Dunze, who I'm high on in this game. 4.5 receptions. That seems solid to me. 52.93% odds to hit the over. Michael Penix, over 31 pass attempts. 52.63% odds to hit the over. And we talked about it at the top of the show. Both of these games have a 49.5 point over under. So they're expecting high scoring, which is great for fantasy. Drake London, they like him over 6 receptions, 52.63% odds to hit the over. Josh Allen, they like him over his pass attempts. And then JCM, they like him over the rushing yards. I know a bunch of you are probably on that. Zach Ertz, over 28.5 receiving yards. They like that. Dalton Kincaid, similar situation. Dude's been questionable all week. So keep that in mind. He may not play. 36.5 receiving yards, 52.29% odds to hit the over. Okay, so interesting. I was really looking at this. Michael Penix Jr. for 1 interception. I was like, I looked at this one for a minute. I didn't even know it was on the optimizer. 52.23%. Yeah, I think that does look good personally. Everyone's got it favored over. So there's a little gem if you guys end up wanting to take a chance on it. What else we got? Luke McCaffrey. Yeah, I already mentioned that 5.5 fantasy score. I think it looks pretty good. I'm going to wrap it up there because I'm going to try to put out 4 more regular plays on my other channel here in just a little bit. Because we're going to have some fun tonight. I mean, we got a double header with 2 bangers, so it should be a lot of fun. Speaking of bangers, y'all, my dynasty team is dominant right now. I mean, dominant. And Jordy, you guys remember Jordy? He's in there, and it's been real quiet. Not a lot of friends and family reaching out to congratulate me. I'm not trying to brag too hard, but I mean, like, if you guys could see, it's wild. I've got Baker, I've got Jonathan Taylor, I've got Bijan Robinson, I got Rico Dowdle, I got Cam Scatabo. I've just been dominant with the running backs. My wide receivers are Jackson Smith and Jigba. Who else do I got? Brian Thomas Jr. I got Trey McBride. I got Denver defense. It's been beautiful. I'm 4-1. I'll be 5-1 this week. But I've got my overall points. I'm enjoying this a little bit. Not trying to flex too hard, but my overall points. I think second place. I'm going to be like over 100 overall points higher than the next closest, and I'll be a game ahead. So it's been a good time, even though I haven't been cashing all the slips. Let's look at the Discord, because yesterday had some salvaging going on. Put this out right before the morning games. I put out like a little 4-man hedge for like each of the windows. One of them hit, kind of salvaged the day a little bit, but we've been stringing together wins in here. There's Jay, I told you guys about. The dude is just a beast. And I'm so happy that he was down to be an analyst for us. But Jay's putting all these in here. This is just, putting together some wins. As long as you're in the green, you live to play another day. Cell Beats, another one of our analysts. Dude's like awesome on FanDuel. That's his main thing. He putting out some plays and cashing. But yeah, this is over the last couple of weeks. We haven't really even hit our stride yet, but we're stringing together wins as a community. I told you guys, Jay's a monster. That dude's insane. And I love it because this is our community. I get on here, I make these videos. I have fun with it. I'm not the best at this. We got guys in our Discord that are better than I am. I'm not trying to act like I'm some guru or something. But we have fun, and that's what it's all about. So if you guys want to come join us, use code FALL, get 75% off for your first month and have some fun with us. But that's going to do it, guys. I appreciate you so much. Go to the J Russo BDFS channel linked below. I'm going to put out 4 more plays because we got a double header, and I'm trying to get that channel more active. That was my solo channel, and this was me and Jordy, and then Jordy's just got too crazy of a schedule to do this. So I'm just trying to run them both right now, kind of figuring out what the future is going to look like running both channels. So I've just been putting demon plays on my other channel, but we're figuring it out. We got NBA about to start, so I'll have plenty of content for both channels moving forward. But thank you so much for tuning in. And this is totally off subject, but let me know, have you guys been following this 3-Eye Atlas thing? I'm super into all this weird stuff going on in the universe and the world and stuff. Like, I love sports, and I also love like that kind of stuff. And I've been like following updates every day. If you guys have been following that, if you think it's just totally bogus, let me know in the comments. If you guys are interested in it too, and you guys have been kind of keeping an eye on that, let me know, because I know it's probably just going to be like, oh yeah, it was a comet, but I love stuff like that. So I've just been like going to sleep at night with YouTube on, just like, tell me more, what happened today with 3i Atlas. But yeah, don't forget to like the video, drop me a comment if you have any questions or anything, and have a blessed day, guys. Have some fun tonight. I'll catch you in the next one.